Can you hear me now? All right. Getting feedback. Hello? One moment. All right. Mercury is retrograde. Hello, everybody. All right. Just try testing. Let's see here. One second. Something is running. How's everybody doing? Hello, Charlene. Just trying to get the. I got something coming through. Hey, Joey. Be with you guys in a second. Mercury retrograde. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. It's coming through the speakers. Hello? Sorry about this, you guys. Yeah, check. Echo, echo, echo. Hello. What did I do? Okay. I'm going to come back to you guys in a second. Can you hear me? Oh, damn it. How's this? Hello. Oh, God. Hello? Can't get it. Hello? It's coming through my speakers. Damn it. Okay. Hello? Hello? I blame YouTube. Oh my God. Yeah. Wanted to talk about YouTube. All right, let me just move this. Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody hear me? 5-5. You hear me, Joey? All right. I don't know what happened here, but the computer is telling me today which microphone to use. I have one on my computer, and I have one right here, and I muted this one. Whatever. Okay, so there's talk about 250 years of freedom here. I hope I sound okay to you guys. So thank you, Charlene and Joey and anybody else out there. We're going to talk a little bit about pendulums today. This is the one that I actually bought, and I'm hanging it. I took it out of my car this morning. If you can see that, and it looks so cool when the light hits it. And I'm sure my husband was enjoying driving with it yesterday. He is feeling a lot better. It was some sort of an intestinal, um, I don't know what it was, a virus or something like that, but he's feeling much better. Thank you guys for all your prayers and everything like that. Okay, I'm glad that you can hear me. Uh, what what I wanted to kind of talk about today is a little bit about the pendulum. Have you guys used the pendulum? Um, And, how comfortable are you actually with it? I have this one here. I call it the Plain Jane. I've had this one for over 30 years. Okay. It's simple. It's old. I could see it's changing colors, but it's my go-to. And I do use them. A lot of people out there would say, oh, pendulums aren't right. They're not accurate enough. And I rather trust the cards. Well, what it really comes down to is clearing your mind is one of the most important steps in getting a reliable yes or no answer, for example. And I do also want to show you this book that I have. And it looks like it was dated since 1997. So this is like a yes or no pendulum swinging, right? Whichever directions that it goes. It's really going to be hard for me to show you doing this on the camera. But I'm going to try at some point here. So, yeah, Shelly says she uses, I'm going to put these up. Can you guys see this on the screen here? She says, I use my pendulum all the time. And a lot of people do. You have to know everything is circular. When you get up in the morning, if you drink coffee or tea, you put in a little milk or whatever you might use, whipping cream, something like that. Which way do you stir? Right? Do you go this way? Do you go that way? Everything is in motion, if you will. So the pendulum picks up on very subtle movements. Excuse me, from your subconscious or your intuitive guidance. So if you're calm and focused, if you're really like having an off day, put the pendulum down, go get centered, and we're going to talk about, quick preparation steps in order to do that. So stay focused, stay in a neutral state. Your feet are grounded, right? That type of thing, and to help your thoughts. If you've got something that you're dealing with that's very emotional, it's probably not going to work for you, or have somebody else do it. I remember when I used to use this many, many years ago. I had a friend that was moving from Illinois to Seattle, and we pulled out a map, and I used the pendulum on that. And of course, her husband didn't believe in any of this stuff. Well, and also I think, it's really funny. I used to think I was more psychic then than I am now, because I got more pictures, more visions than I do now. Now it's just a knowing of the unknowing. It's just that clear to me. Sometimes I'll get a visualization, other times I won't. But I remember putting a map down, and then we followed the map, and it just basically, I'm making it swing. So don't think that I'm doing this without it, but yeah, this is all that it really does, right? And it's yes or no, and but you always have to ask permission, and you also should ask to know which direction is yes and which direction is no. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. But so finish my story off is that I found it on a map. Had no idea what Seattle was about, or the suburbs of Seattle, and I found it. And I just also said to her, "You're going to be doing a lot of work near this church. I see this you going up this hill and this big steeple." And it turned out to be like this. She taught yoga. She was very, very healthy, much more healthier than I've ever been in my life, and she was very conscious, very much more awake than I was. And sure as she found the place, she says, "You're not going to believe this, but I had to walk up this steep hill, and at the top, it looked like there was this big, I don't know what you want to call it, like the peak of a church, and that's where they were holding these yoga classes, and that's where they needed her teacher and stuff like that." But any case, with the pendulum, so the first place that they landed, because she said where their home was going to be. They had two little boys at the time. I think they were like 2 and 4, and they rented first. And but where they actually landed is where my pendulum landed, and that gave me a lot of confidence. And validation will give you confidence when you're first starting out. And if you don't trust it, just like I said, there's going to be steps that we're going to go through. This is kind of wild for me to use as a pendulum. It's stuck on the sun. And oh my goodness, it really is. Okay. And I would not use this as a pendulum, even though this part is the pendulum. You could do that. Um, the cord is I don't know how many inches that this is here, but if I compare it to my cord, they're about the same. And I actually do have a measuring tape. The longer the cord, the more it's going to swing, just so that you know this. And so this one here, oh my God, this thing is just, it's too gaudy for me to even work with. It's too much. It's 5 inches. So this other one is probably about 5.5 inches. All right, so I don't go any longer than this. Do you guys do? Some people just go very, very long. Pinch it between my fingers. My arm is elevated. I always go like this with my pinky out. I don't know why, but I always feel like if I balance this whole structure thing out with my pinky out. You don't have to do that. All right. So there's a lot of things that you could do. You want to, sit comfortably with your feet on the floor. It's grounding. You've got to ground. It helps. And hold the pendulum by the chain or the top between your thumb and your index, as I mentioned, and then you're letting your fingers, about 6 to 8 inches above whatever surface that you're working on, right? If you're going to use a book like this book here, and like I said, it was printed. This is the third edition. I got it in 1997, so it's quite old, and you can see I got marks. I got coffee marks on it. It tells you about the different types of pendulum. There's a pixie pendulum, there's teardrop pendulums, there's a petite pendulum, rainforest pendulum, so on and so forth. And it's really a kind of cool book. You could still get it. I think it's still in print. And if you can probably look on Amazon, and it talks about the pendulum language. Okay, This is a book, and I think somebody was kind of laughing at me and saying, "Who needs instructions on how to do this?" This is like a laminated book. It's just a flip book, and I'll tell you, it's better than. It's something very quick. I throw it in the drawer, and then if I've lost something, right, I just lay it down and say, "Is it in the house? And where is it?" People used to call me. They used to call me and say, I remember one somebody called me and said. That they lost their phone, and I said, "Were you, because I like I said, I used to get pictures. I don't get that as much as I used to, but I said I see it in a chair. It's in a chair, but there's a lot of chairs around it." And said, "Oh my God, we were at the movies," and they went back. The guy was cleaning up, and she ran down to the seat that they were sitting in and found the wallet. It was stuck between the seats. This one here is, I'm just going to go through these very quickly with you. It's like an alphabetical numerical. There is a master chart. What's on the master chart is on the left hand side, it says the best chart to start with is you're asking uh, for guidance. And then it says here the best chart to use next is, and you make mental notes of this because it will help you. And it goes through, and it's just a listing of all the charts that are in this book. Whoops, this way. Okay, and you're going to ask, what's the name of the book, Janine? The name of the book is called Pendulum Charts, Dale Olson, Knowing. And I'm trying to keep this right with the camera because I got a camera that's got a mind of its own. All right. So if let's just say that you want help and you want to know, there's like an alphabet thing here, right? Which letter does it start with? Something like that. Let's see what else we have here. Again, the yes and no chart, very simple, very basic. Percentage. There's a percentage chart. What percentage of my intuition is accurate today? That's a good one. That's a good one to start with. This is just for beginners, but these questions stick with you. The more that you do it, you won't need the book after a while. To what degree is the information accurate or true? And so, while I'm doing that, I want to open up something here. The quality factor. What is the best? What quality or quantity would best serve this body? This, in what form? So it's quantity. This is for taking supplements. I kid you not. And this, I've had this thing for over 30 years, maybe 30 years. But is it a capsule? Is it a liquid? Is it a product? Is it a tablet? There's other ways that you can test things too. If this was a bottle of supplements, you put it on your body, right? That's another way. Or you could actually use the pendulum. Like you're out on Amazon and you're not sure which supplement, if it's really good, you're reading the reviews and you're still not, you're still questioning. If you're always still questioning, try the pendulum, see if it works for you. Time factor. How often is this remedy needed? So if you're taking certain remedies and you're asking your body to tell you how many times per day, how many times per week, and then you follow the chart, right? You use the pendulum. I'm just showing you the book first, and it's going to be really hard for me to do this for you, but you guys have done all this, I'm pretty sure. There's a vitamin chart, there's essential and trace mineral chart. If you do this, we always talk about we need to know what our body needs and how much we need it. Wish there was a test out there. This is the reason why I got this book, because I kept going into vitamin stores and having somebody across the way who was getting, I don't know, extra money for selling a certain product, because the salesman was there, that type of thing. And they would push things that they thought that was good. It might have been good for them, but was it good for you? Amino acid chart, like Joey would say, I shit you not. And then tissue salts. This body is in need of what tissue salts? It's got a whole list out here. So let's see what else we have here. Antioxidants, adaptogens, enzymes for digestion, food supplement charts. Okay. I like this thing. I mean, I haven't used it in probably a year. Nutrition and food allergies. To tell you the truth, I use it a lot when I lose something. When I lose my mind, to be honest with you. When I know I just had it and I don't know where it is, or I put it in a place that I could remember. And allergies, adverse effect chart. This is a really cool chart. Let me read to you a couple of things here. The body has an excess of what allergen and to what degree? Go back to the percentage, right? It'll tell you in the chart. It's just self-diagnosis, if you will. And then herbal remedy, and it'll list. It's got a list of all the herbal remedies that you could use. There's herbal remedy 1. There's herbal remedy 2. Flower essence remedies. How many of you used to take a lot of flower essences? How many of you still make your flower essences? System of the body. So the system is in need of what? Attention. Spinal, psychological, circulatory, digestive. Just reading a few of these. Endocrine, cell and tissue, lymphatic, immune. It's all right here. Use your pendulum, right? And then the endocrine system, right? Which gland, organ is in need of attention? A lot of times we don't need to run to the doctor. We just need to know. And then you go back and you find your supplement, right? It's kind of like your own body scan here is where I'm kind of going with this. And then the condition, this dysfunction is manifesting as what condition, to what degree or magnitude is this condition? Is it chronic? Is it aching? Is it acute, low, normal, high? Let me tell you, my husband wouldn't allow me to do this with him. I would have to be sitting in another room from him and kind of just using my pendulum on these type of things. Joey wants to know what's the name of the book. All right, and then I'm going to go through this source and conditions. There's other source and conditions out there. Let me hold it up. I went real fast. It's called Pendulum Charts. Look them up. The author was Dale Olson. This is the 3rd edition. 44 charts that are in here. Learn to access your natural intuitive abilities and take guesswork out of your life. It's laminated. This is revised edition. It's I think I got mine in 1997, so it may not look exactly like this. I'm pretty sure it won't. Just like I got a Animals Speak book. I thought I lost mine, and then when I ordered my other one, I found it. Should have used a pendulum, right? Is it in the house? And that type of thing. All right. So conditions. What dysfunction is manifesting is this is a condition, right? Source of condition, and what. And these are the questions. So let me just kind of slow down a little bit. So it tells you your condition, and then it gives you 2 questions. If you have more of your own questions, write them down on a piece of paper and note that. And also take a look at your questions. Write down other questions that you may have, and then write down your answer from the pendulum. Use the book in any way that you need to use the book. So you could use 3 or 4 pages out of this, right? But you're self-diagnosing. I use this thing, and it's kind of beat up. It really is. It's a source of condition. What is the source of the present condition? Here it is, right? And it's listed here, and I'm just going to read off a couple of these, if I can actually see it. Trauma experience, unconscious thought, unresolved physical issues, spiritual interference or influence. That's one side of it. Oops, it's kind of hard. It goes in a circle, and the way they did it is chakra imbalance, nutrition, emotional, karma, past, a belief, a diet. This is a really good book for you to use. I say it's great for beginners, but I've had it since 1997, and I also had my old pendulum. I don't upgrade it. It's just a weight, with a point, and it served me well for many years. I never lose it. I always think, all the times that I've moved. And this thing is just like it's really part of me. It's funny because I'll say, "Oh my God, did I lose the book in the last move?" And boom, there it is, right? It's right there with me. All right. Origin of disease or dysfunction. This is a really good page. So the disease is located where? And then you just kind of go through this chart, and it tells you your mouth or your tongue. Is it your head, your mind, your sinus, or your nose? the kidneys, um, your back, your spine, your heart, your upper limb, reproductive organs, lungs. Let me know, Joey, if you're out there and you're looking for this book. Please put the link in the chat if you can. If not, I will try to do that. I have not looked for it because I've owned it, but if you guys can, see if it's on Amazon. If not, you might have to just search for Dave Olson. It's called Pendulum Chart: Knowing Your Intuitive Mind. It's a really good book. It's got healing remedies in here. It's 44 pages, you guys. I'm just kind of going through this rapidly. What are the remedies that are needed for my body, my mind, and my spirit? There's the questions get on here. You can get a lot of really good questions. This is a page I used to use a lot. My relationship compatibility. Yes, I did. I was one of those, right? It says the person is compatible with me in what way? And then there's a line, okay? And then, of course, you're supposed to fill it in the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And then it's kind of like, all right, so let's say this person is compatible with me in what way? And I'm thinking about, I don't know, like, let's just say my mother, okay? I'm thinking about my mother. And if it lands, it's going to say mother image, right? And that's going to be the mental mother image. And then it says on what level, P, M, E, or S. I know that you can't see this or where I'm saying here, but it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. And is it short, medium, or long? It's a really cool book. And if you have someone that you want to work with, if you're one of these people out there that's an energy worker, use this book with them and show them. Shelly is telling me she charges her pendulum by resting it on selenite. Yeah, selenite is a long white. I have a bar about this big of that. Personal motivator. And then it says, what is going on? There's a whole circle here. What is going on? Basically, is in the emotional body. What negative emotion is being elicited? To what degree? So it'll give you a certain percentage. So you could always see where you're off at. We talk about the chakras, right? You can use the chakra cards with this. You can integrate your own protocol if you do this work on yourself or anybody else. What is the present state involved with, I don't know, whatever person it is? So these are the things of saying what's going on. I'm just going to read some of these because it's really important. If you take yourself away from thinking that you're in control of this and something bigger than you is in control of it, it'll tell you, well, you're being very insecure, or your self-esteem, or some of these other terms that are on here. There's revenge, resentment, repulsion. So how many of you just like maybe had a bad relationship conversation or something like that, and you just, am I angry, empathy? A lot of people can't get in touch with their emotions. This is the emotional body that you want to work with, right? And then let's see, who is involved? Who's involved in this present circumstance? And then, you just go in there and say, my higher self is a God. You'll get all these different things, and you can get so creative with this. You really can. I wish I had somebody here with me in the room that I can actually demonstrate this with you. Let's see here. And then, what am I telling myself? What is the unresolved conscious or unconscious story that I'm telling myself? And this is a really good one because I know I remember using this. And it's like, I am not, here's the response: I am not being validated. I'm not being protected. I'm not being supported. I am not safe. I lack strength. Now, you can actually go back. If you get a sentence like this that comes up, I would go back to the percentage chart and say, you don't want to get so over analytical, overthinking this, if you will. But you could say, what percentage of this, do I lack trust? What percentage of do I lack trust with this particular person? A lot of people were asking me questions, right? And I love to be able to go through this and do one of these or two with you guys here. I've got a few more pages here, and I'm going to flip through them quickly. Is how do I change my life? A lot of people want to know, am I going to move? That's a change, right? How do you go about doing that? How about light and color demands? My body is in deficiency of indigo, violet, ultra blue. That's another page. It's a color demand. Chakras indicate the chakra that it needs clearing, indicate the balance of the chakra. There's a chakra page in here. It's yummy, yummy, yummy. Gemstones. How many of you out there raise your hand that work with gemstones? The best gemstone at this time? Is it the fluorite? Is it emerald? Is it the diamond? Is it a celis? Is it? I don't even know what some of these are. Aquamarine, amber. Obviously, some of these are turquoise and quartz gemstone. Do you guys work with gemstones? How many of you have tons of gemstones? Right? How about metals? How many of us have learned about heavy metals? Which metal is in my body? Is it titanium? Is it copper? Is it silver? Is it gold? Is it zinc? Is it iron? Now that I pulled this book out and I'm looking at it, I need to get back to this. I really do, because this is a great book. And also, too, lost objects. Oh, there is one in here for lost objects. Direction, degree, and distance. And when I never really used the lost objects one, I always tried to sense. I could do it for others, but not for myself. And that's when this book comes handy. Sometimes we have a friend out there that we want to, talk to and call them up, and a lot of times they're not available. So that's when you would do this. Also, you could diagnose your automobile. I'm not kidding you. I'm really not. What system needs to be checked out? It's a vehicle. It's, where I'm going, right? Dragon Wings 369 is in the house, and Leah is in the house. So Shelly's in the house, and Charlene. How about a house inventory, right? It says, it would be in my best interest to invest in rent, lease, or buy. Okay, this is coming up for these young kids. The economy is going to be changing, and they're all going to want to know, is it best for me to rent, to lease, to buy? And then it says which area needs to be checked out first. So let's just say, for example, you've got some kids and grandkids or whomever, yourself, and said, there's a lot of people out there that are looking to relocate and move. I've done some readings for them, but they're not sure about the building. They're not sure about something. But in here it says it lists out every possibility that is a movable object within your house, or an object and so it's a roof, insulation, exterior, that type of thing. And does it need to be checked out? Does it need to be replaced? Does it need to be rebuilt? How fun is this? Charlene says Allison needs to know what system in her car is messing up. And maybe we could do that with Allison if she comes back on Monday. I haven't heard from her. I don't know if she's traveling or just enjoying the long, long weekend. Plant and soil chart. Okay, this plant needs what? It's funny because I'm always questioning that. I've just started. We put a trellis in the back of the yard, and we put um, Peggy Martin vine on it, and all of a sudden there's just one big vine, or like one stem of it, that was just dead. Everything else around it was alive. And I'm thinking, what does it need? You walk over to, you kind of talk to it, that type of thing. But it'll tell you whether or not it's lacking, what it's lacking. Maybe it needs a little love, a little pruning, a little pH. And then business decisions. How many of you are like, I don't know, should I stay or should I go in business? Right? So it says what percentage of a challenge is that matters, what's results in. I used this a lot when I was in business. I really did. Okay, I think I'm coming to the end of it. And this is just the back of the book they give you. And you could also duplicate this page on a piece of paper. And, instead of, writing on it, it is laminated. I did have some coffee stains on the first couple. On my yes or no, you can see my little stains there. Probably from 30 years ago. I don't know. But again, I'm just going to kind of go through this and show you. I'm going to read the back of the book. It says, there's no limits to knowing your intuitive mind. With practice, you can use a pendulum chart, and accurate decision making, the effective problem solving. You have the ability to consciously access infinite information, knowledge, and wisdom. Find accurate answers that will save you time and create more success and increase your well-being. This is Dale Olson. This is a copyright from Crystalline Publication. I don't know if it's still in business or not, but it looks like all rights were reserved and copyright in 1989. This is 11th printing. I got the 11th printing in 1997. And this is what, I don't even know if this man is still alive, but there you go. Okay. Any questions? Class? I thought that was really exciting. Like I said, I wanted to show you my new pendulum, but I actually hang it from the car, and I could not work with something this gaudy. That's what I look at, but I want the light to come in when I'm driving. It's so bright here. We have a lot of sun down here, and I'll put it back up in my window. And but I use this one. I honestly, it's not the most beautiful thing out there. Nothing glamorous about it. It's just a weight, And there you go. All right. So I want to share something with you. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. Let's see what we have here. So I think Charlene is out there saying, I can only see so many on the big screen here, but I could see it better on the smaller one. It says, if Allison is traveling, she would be walking. All right, I'll get back to that one there. I'll try to tell you what I get from it. And I have to go back to the automobile. That was toward the end. All right, and so in the meantime, I want to ask Leah. Leah sent me something in the email yesterday, and I want to ask her permission to show it. It's nothing bad. It's actually really cool. And I'm trying to see what email that she sent it to me at. I have 4 emails, and it's not a good thing. I'm cutting back on all this stuff. Which one did she send it to? So Leah, if you're out there, if you're still with us, she, it was based upon the chakras that we were talking about yesterday. And I did almost thought it was, I didn't recognize, she said, of course. All right. I almost didn't recognize the, Leah, do you remember which email it was? I don't know if it was turn the page, TTP readings, maybe. I've always, on my other channels, I always told everyone to send me TTP readings, and I'm having a hard time finding hers. Gosh darn it, I'm going to have to find it on my phone. 1 second. So I wanted to share that with you. So before I actually go on that, just remember, you got to clear yourself, cleanse the pendulum also, as Shelly was saying. And, oh, here, I found it. It just popped up now. It was TTP readings. All right, very cool. I'm going to show this. And so set a clear intention silently or aloud and say something like, I ask for clear, truthful guidance from my highest good. I think that's what I always used to say. And then deep breathing, all right, grounding that we talked about. And, it's, you could just scan your body, make sure your chakras are aligned, that type of thing. And then hold the pendulum to your heart. So that's one thing I didn't talk about. I want to get there before I show her picture. So I think, and I truly do believe they should always hold it at the heart level. Some of you may or may not. Let's finish this up on the pendulum. So there is a book on Amazon. This is coming from Joey, and it should be on my screen here if you guys can see this. There is a book on Amazon. Tried sending a link, but it won't let me. Okay, so at least people will know I've given it. I'll give it one more time. I might even go back and put it in after it's recorded and put it in there if YouTube doesn't take me down. They took down my show yesterday. And then Facebook blocked me today. So I'm not on Facebook today. They blocked me. Let me just get this off my mind here. So there was an old high school friend of mine that posted something and said, hey, are you guys tired of seeing all the ads out on Facebook? Just copy and paste this. I didn't think anything of it, and I did it. I've got my personal Facebook page, and then I have Live with Janine. right? So I did it on my personal page and it worked. There were no infomercials and all this bullshit out there. It was like, oh my God, these are all my friends again. So I thought, let me try it on Live with Janine. Well, it didn't like that and it blocked me. It says, you are temporarily blocked. So this is not going there today. So if I get any short clips, I'll put them out there for tomorrow. Let's see here. Who else is saying? So there is a book on Amazon if you guys want to get it. I'm not here selling you guys a bunch of stuff. It just seems like that, this is the tools that I play with and the things that I've used in my life. And I don't make any money off of advertising this stuff here. Let's see here. Colleen says, I made sure I came in by 9 o'clock to find out. She started at 8:30. Did I say 9? Never listen to what I say. Actually, it was set for 8 o'clock, which would have been maybe your 9 o'clock. And then while I was doing it this morning, I got to be honest with you guys, I was super crabby when I woke up and I was super hungry because I had a late lunch and then nothing after that. And I was, my husband has been eating very lightly because he wasn't feeling good. So I was kind of going along with it. I thought, okay, this is cool. I'm just kind of fasting. But I woke up and I was like, roar, food. And so I thought, oh, I need to rest and stuff like that. So, anyways, let me blow this up and let me share this. All right. Colleen says she does like the recommendations. All right, let's see there. So, we did a show yesterday on the chakras. I was pulling cards. Let me close this one here. I hope you guys are still going to be able to hear me because I closed my laptop. And okay. Oops. Let me remove my chat picture that's up here. Turn off the stream. Okay, can you guys see this okay? It looks a lot better in the email than it does on the screen here. But this came from Leah. And she gave me permission. She said, of course, you could show this. There's nothing bad. And so I have to go back and read the email. Leah, if I get it wrong, let me know. So she, I think I pulled 2 chakra cards for her, right? And one was at the heart and one was at the mind, I think it was. Can't remember. It's like when I do readings, I don't remember them. But anyways, she went into Chat GPT and she was able to design this. And I don't want to close it out and read what she said in the email, but I might have to. Okay. It says, hi, Janine. This is Leah. I asked Chat GPT to give me a picture based on a protection energy practice I do in the morning. Today, after the cards you pulled for me, I asked it to include, and I've added it to her own personal practice, surrounding her with a violet flame of Saint Germain, because I think there was a recommendation for Saint Germain, and thought she would share it. And that's this picture here. Isn't this beautiful? So what she has is a soul star up here. If you can see my mouse moving around at the top. And then it's divine connection to the source, and then the infinite divine light, unconscious love, all that it is. And then right about here is her higher self, and then the golden light of source, as you can see the golden light right here. And then, of course, it's the violet flame of Saint Germain. What a visualization. This is just really cool. The blue flame of the Archangel Michael is the protection, strength, and courage and truth in her will. And it's encasing her, I guess is what it is. It's her whole aura. And then down below, of course, she's got her earth energy rising and the grounding. Grounding it and anchoring it and balancing it in service. This is beautiful. Like I said, it's probably not doing you any justice on screen, but what do you guys think of this? It's really, really amazing. Somebody says she posted it on Telegram yesterday. Okay, good. And let's see here. Yeah, this was really cool that she was able to come up with this. it's interesting what these AIs can do for you. Visualization, this is really, I mean, this is one of the benefits. Otherwise, I've got other things to complain about them. But yeah, this is really cool here. So if you wanted to take that into your mind's eye and do some sort of self healing, isn't that cool? Thank you for sharing that. I do appreciate it. If you guys have other stuff like that you're doing and you want to send to me, I'd be glad to share it with you. So if you're sending it to me, you're giving me permission to share, unless you put in there, this is very personal, and I won't do that. All right. Yeah. Colleen is saying yeah, everybody's just saying it's just super gorgeous. It's beautiful. Um, thank you so much for that. And I'm going to come back to you guys here. Whoops, the other way. I don't like this. I don't like this computer. All right. And I guess I could just leave that up there. It said no, it wasn't going to leave it up there. All right, here we go. So, so this is really cool stuff. I just wanted to share this with you. And let's see, where's my chat? I want to bring you guys back in here. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, it is great work, Leah. And if you guys are also doing stuff like that, so that's what I was going to have. But just to kick this off, I'm actually going to see what the pendulum says for Allison on the automobile, which is a great idea. You guys, I can't hold it and do all this stuff over here, but you could trust me. I don't have one of those cameras. If the camera that I have will point down, but my face has to go down. In other words, it follows me, and a lot of times I turn that off because sometimes it just kind of goes all over the house. All right, house inventory, automobile diagnosis. So here's the questions, and this is going to be for Allison. And I don't have any sage or anything to clear it, but I also haven't used it. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go back and I'm going to flip it over to the front page, and then it just say, this is what I do. Okay, this is the pendulum language. And I'm going to ask it to indicate the direction of yes for me on the chart. Yes is this way and no is this way, so that I get a clear answer. Okay, and then so I'm going to ask it, so please indicate the direction of yes. So it is definitely following it. I know that you can't see this. And then I'm going, so at least I know what yes is. And then obviously no is the other direction. So the house inventory, oops, not house, automobile diagnosis. What system needs to be checked out on Allison's vehicle? All right, here we go. How much fun is this? Okay, so I'm going to start it. So this is interesting. So here's the chart. At least I could show you that and how I'm doing it. And I put the pendulum here. And then I let it guide me after the intention and the question. So let me just kind of be quiet in my mind. What system needs to be checked out on Allison's vehicle? It's moving. It's going straight up. Moving to my left. It kind of went to electric and engine. Now it's at the fuel system. And it's almost like it where I started, because at the bottom down there is a fuel pump. So it's leaning more towards the left. I wish you guys could see this, but okay, let me just add, now I'm going to ask it a question. The part of the system that needs to be checked are, so when I'm doing this, and if it's going back and forth and going back and forth and it's not moving, and then all of a sudden it's got a big jump, I look at the big jump. Do you guys do it that way? Let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, so let me start over. The part of the system that needs to be checked. So it's somewhere in the vicinity of okay, so the fuel pump is what came up on the left side that says that needs to be checked out on this vehicle. But then when I asked for the actual parts, it was going towards like the fan, the belt, and the coolant. So she's obviously fuel, water. There's something there going on a lot of times. So what I do is I tie it into her emotional body. That's what other way can you do that? And you guys got questions? Maybe if you have a question, throw it in the chat and I will ask it. But that's what I do here. So let's see, Allison. One other question is, what percentage of this part? What percent is this part good? Well, it's looking like she's got good electric in the car. This is funny because I'm wondering how accurate this chart is compared to what our cars are today and how they're built. Again, I got this book in 97, but it's coming right back to the engine. So it's coming right back to the engine area in the carbon injection. So coming back to the fuel system. So I don't know what she might have there, but then you can ask it a bunch of other questions. But yeah, Joey says, what is her car doing? I have no idea. So this was thrown out by, I think it wasn't Colleen, and I can't remember who it was. All right, so there you guys go. This is one way of using it. That is what I have. So I don't know if she's taken a look at the tank, the filter, the line, the fuel pump. All that is in the fuel system. So I don't even know what kind of car she has. All right, so that's my thing on there. Hope you guys enjoy this. What are you guys doing? You got plans? You staying home? I see a lot of people are not going anywhere. Down here, it is crazy traffic. Everybody, I think, from Illinois is down here. They were showing you sitting on certain highways for over an hour or two, literally sitting. So I ran out early this morning, and I'm away from all the main roads, but down here in the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Foley area, you don't have a lot of big highways, freeways. They've got um, a beach highway, if you will. It's like two lanes, and that's it. It's not like the big cities that you might come from. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know anything about this automobile, so I was just telling you what I was getting. Let's see. Colleen's going to Plainfield for fireworks tonight. A lot of fireworks on the 3rd. There's a couple little towns out here on the outskirts of, from the away from the beach, and there's one town called Alberta. I wanted to go over there. They have a lot of things for the kids. Fireworks, I think, are tonight. I don't know how big the fireworks are. I know that when we were in Arkansas and we were right next to the dam, our cottage or house was, and we were right on the lake. The fireworks were not that impressive, but those are the small little towns, and you get what you get. Let's see here. Okay, you guys are all talking about Allison's car. Hopefully, she'll get it going or find the right person to help her with that. And do you guys have any other questions about anything? I'm gonna, this is really cool. This book is really cool. It's just another tool for you if you want to get it. If you're serious about it, because, if you buy this kind of stuff and you just, just buy it to buy it, and not use it for yourself. I mean, there's a lot of tools like this, but this was really well thought out. I believe it was. Okay, and let's see what else we have going on. Oh, I think I might have closed out my pages, but and I probably did, yeah. I was going to talk a little bit more. Um, excuse me here. I was going to talk a little bit more about the pendulums, but let me just ask you guys if you want to put the comments in out there. How many of you guys use a pendulum? And I know that we had one person out there. Do you trust yourself in using them? That's really the question there. I do. I don't care what anybody says. They always say, "Oh, they're not accurate," but I'll tell you what, they've been more accurate than flipping tarot cards. They really are because you're a conduit of the energy. You know. Joey says he just ordered it and he says thanks and he's gonna check it out. Cool. It is really, really cool. You know, what I mean, it's something that, especially if you know how we work and operate, and we're extension of the energies and all that other stuff. And there's just so much science that is behind using pendulums, right? Um, yeah, Joey, especially if you use yours all the time, you probably use it when you're doing energy work out there. Let's see here. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? Yeah, you know, it's just you know, there's I can't go into the discussion whether we're on a globe or we're on the flat, but there's a lot of people out there when you start talking about the pendulum and circular and stuff like that. There's a lot of flat earthers that will argue the whole pendulum thing, and you know, until I'm actually shown what we are living on, I continue on, you know, just believing what I'm believing. So let's see here. Oh, I know what I need to open up. I did make note of something here. Shelley Winfrey says, great show today. Enjoy the holidays. Blessings, everyone. Blessings to you too, Shelley. I'm getting ready to wrap this up. It's just, I can't believe I'm at the hour already. It's just crazy how much time flies here. You know, you guys get outside, enjoy yourself. If it's cool, if it's not, stay cool, that type of thing. And let me just check one other thing before we go here. Um, mhm. uh, just bear with me. Uh, I guess I did it on my other phone. I don't have it out. There was something that I wanted to bring out to you. There are more and more scientists that obviously, you know, the pendulum swinging, right? You talk about you want to be able to use it and you got to make sure that you're emotionally set and stuff like that. But let's see here. This is not it. All right, that's all that I have for you guys today. Sorry, this always happens when I close a window and I lose it. It wasn't meant to be. So enjoy your holiday. I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to try to get on here Monday with Allison if she is available. And we haven't come up with anything that we wanted to talk about, but please be safe out there. Keep all your fingers in your toes and make sure your grandchildren and children also do too. And blessings to everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye now.